So today we are once once again gonna go through How to Talk to Anyone, and I'm absolutely not reading that at the time. How to Talk to Anyone by Leil Lowndes. And it's the second episode, so I've already recorded one and it's already on YouTube and also on a podcast if you're listening to the podcast. And I think it is an amazing book. I think it is just an amazing thing to just learn things. You know, it's all about just talking to people. It's all about just those tiny little tricks that may or may not really just be that effective or shit. But I think still it is just really a cool book and really an interesting book. And I think it deserves the 8 out of 10. And also, I gotta have to say, like, the summary is insane. You know, really fucking insane. Like, it is so detailed. There's so many just nuances, and it is so long. Like, I don't know in which way you can compare that to the actual book then, you know, if the summary or the notes on the book are already so good. But it might even be just better, you know? Yeah. Long story short, we're gonna talk about it after the intro, or we're just gonna go ahead with it after the intro. And yeah, first of all, I gotta have to spit out this thing that I still don't know what it is called, but it's from a date. And second of all, I have to close my window. And third of all, I really hope that I'm able to just cut out and reduce all the popping sounds that I might be having, since I'm not having anything on top of my phone. But I'm a little bit concerned because I guess, you know, my hot guess is that I've kind of fucked my cable. So the connection between phone and computer isn't that nice, which makes it a way more difficult thing, which is not good. Which is just not a good thing, but I hope to just be able to go ahead anyway. And so yeah, as you can see on the left side of the screen, this is a summary, and I'm just so looking forward to going through it. You know, it is insane, I know. Partly maybe also because I've been able to sleep a little bit more, I know, in the past few. Okay, actually, from yesterday to today, I haven't been sleeping that much, even though I've just set out to do so. But in the end, it wasn't just working out as I just actually wanted it to work out. So it is what it is, you know? I don't give a shit now. The next thing, how to make sure you don't miss a single beat. Okay, interesting. Technique, watch the scene before you make the scene. Okay, I gotta do this. Rehearse being the super somebody you want to be ahead of time. See yourself walking around with hang by your teeth posture, shaking hands, smiling the floating smile, and making sticky eyes. Hear yourself chatting comfortably with everyone. Feel the pleasure of knowing you are in peak form and everyone is gravitating towards you. Visualize yourself as super somebody, then it all happens automatically. I don't know. Like, the thing is, I know that our mind is just a super huge and important thing, and it is insane. Like, it fucking is insane. Like, it's a really cool fucking thing, indeed. But it's I mean, like, it's not the first. It's not really the first time I'm reading something like this. You know, it's often I don't want to say often, but it is sometimes the case that it is just some hocus pocus shit. You know, it is just something, and I do just really have to be, at least at my point of view, or in my point of view, I kind of have to be a little bit like just backing off and be like, well, I don't really know, because I don't know. I don't want people to just be in a delusional state of mind and think they're super duper good and whatnot just because they're imagining it to be. But of course, if you're confident in whatever the fuck you're doing, then it's just gonna be better. You know, it's just gonna be also easier, I would say. And therefore, yeah, why not? I know. Yeah. Part dos. To know what to say after you say hi. I think this is actually a really important one, because I think we've all been there. Like, after you say hi and then it is just a lot of fucking silence. Whether it is based on you not really willing to talk to this person because of various reasons, or just because you can't talk. But, you know, I have indeed seen myself in situations where I just do not want to talk, you know, which I don't know, which then kind of pisses me on a little bit, to really be honest, because I don't know, I want to just be the nice person. I want to be the person that when you've been talking with me, that you're feeling better than before, and you just maybe feel understood, or you feel like just better, plainly, I think. And which I think is just in general a pretty cool thing if you're just able to do so. And I don't know, I think just I think not talking with a person and not ignoring, like I just don't ignore anybody, but not talking. And even though you could just really quote unquote create a lively conversation, you just don't do it. It just doesn't make any sense, of course, but yeah, maybe you know it, maybe you can relate to it. But yeah, the brighter the individual, the more he or she detests small talk. What does detests? Detests. Disgust, regard, execrate, despise, towards, feel, return. Is it like just don't like it? This actually says love, admire, feel animosity to. Okay, to feel aversion, feel unable to bear. Well, this is definitely like, no, I don't want to do that. This is not something that I want to do. I actually kind of feel like I have to just have something on top of my phone, because especially when I love, it's not good, you know? It's just really not good. And you probably hear it just being way better just because I'm not fucking breathing all the fucking time in my phone. But anyway, how to start great small talk. Technique, make a good match. Before opening your mouth, take a voice sample of your listener to detect his or her state of mind. Take a psychic photograph, quote unquote, of the expression to see if your listener looks buoyant. What does that mean? Bored or blitzed. If you ever want to bring people around to your thoughts, you must match their mood and voice tone, if only for a moment. Small talk is not about facts. Small talk is about putting people at ease. You must first match your listener's mood. Top communicators pick up their listener's tone of voice and duplicate it. As we have actually seen it as well with body language as well. Yeah, English. Nah, but if you're copying somebody's body language, even though you shouldn't be doing this in a way that the person actually knows that and or recognizes that, because then it is fucked up, you know. And then the possibility is that the person might think, do you wanna be kidding me? You know, do you wanna fuck with me? Which is not good, you know, obviously. But we just like people that are like us. Apparently, it is the case. So I think it also makes sense to just copy someone's tone of voice. Even though, I don't know, like if somebody's angry and stuff and you just talk to this person in a really angry tone, then I don't know if this is a good thing to do. You know, especially when you, for example, I don't know, want to calm the whole situation down, then I don't know. Every mother knows this instinctively. To quiet a whimpering infant, mama doesn't just shake her finger and shout, quiet down. No, mama picks baby up. Mama cries, oh, sympathetically matching baby's misery for a few moments. Mama, why can't I read today? Fuck you. Mama then gradually transitions the two of them into hush hush happy sounds. Your listeners are all big babies. This is the whole plot of the story. Our listeners are all babies, you know? Now we know. But I think it's interesting. And never mind. I think it's interesting. How to sound like you have got a super personality, no matter what you're saying. Technique, prosaic. Is it called prosaic? I think it's prosaic or whatever, with passion. Worries about your first words? Fear not, because 80% of your listeners' impression has nothing to do with your words anyway. Almost anything you say at first is fine. No matter how prosaic the text, an empathetic mood, a positive demeanor, and passionate delivery make you sound exciting. Almost anything you say really is okay, as long as it puts people at ease and sounds passionate. How do you put people at ease? By convincing them they are okay and that the two of you are similar. I wonder, I think it is actually a really, really, really important and good point, what he said, like by convincing them that they are okay, you know, that you just show them that they are fine, that they are cool, that you actually like them. Which I think can be kind of quote unquote explained by visualizing and or seeing that we probably all are concerned about ourselves. So if you're concerned about the other person actually kind of, then it maybe makes sense, I guess. You know, that if you say like, okay, I just really like you out of nowhere. I don't really know if this is kind of the best just strategy to do so or tactic. But yeah, you know, I really believe in it. Like we all are just thinking about ourselves, basically, at least in this sense, of course, in just various different senses as well, because it is just what we do apparently. But yeah, I think so. I gotta have to try it out actually. And also with the tone of voice, because I tend to just also be like getting a little bit into a very calm voice because I like it myself as well. And I've also seen it today in the episode and also yesterday in the episode that sometimes I just try to, maybe not even try, but kind of default into sounding a little bit like soft, I would say. But yeah, anyway. How to make people want to start a conversation with you. Technique always were a what's it, which is WHATCIT, and apparently it is nothing. Okay, whenever you go to a gathering, wear or carry something unusual, give people who find you the delightful stranger across the crowded room an excuse to approach. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice your, what is that? Your business cards and your what's it? Or I guess, what's it? Crucial socializing artifacts. And I think this as well makes sense. I mean, like, just all the things. All the things here just really make sense. Kind of. Like, of course, some are more like just eye-opening, and some are more like, well, I know that, but I have never thought about it. But I really like it. I really like it. The next one is the was that. Was that is the most effective, least used by non-politicians meeting people device ever contrived. Simply ask the party giver to make the introduction or pump for a few facts that you can immediately turn into icebreakers. How to meet people you want to meet. I think, yes, it makes sense. Yes, it really does. Just please introduce us. What's wrong with that? I know. How to break into a tight crowd. Technique, eavesdrop in. No was it, ? No host for was that? No problem. Just sidle up behind the swarm of folks and, folks you want to infiltrate and open your ears. Infiltrate sounds a little bit evil, I gotta have to say. But I mean, of course, like a lot of things that we are doing and just we have been teaching maybe as well have been quote unquote made up by the military. The wrong word, I know, but yeah, you know what I mean. A lot of things just really originated from military purposes and the military also language, I would say. And yeah, yeah, motherfucker. Yes. Well, yeah, anyway. Wait for any flimsy excuse and jump in with, excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. Okay. Will they be taken aback? Momentarily. Will they get over it? Momentarily. Will you be in the conversation? Absolutely. I like that. I also like just the writing style. I think it is pretty cool and funny, if you will. At least for me. I know it's probably not going to be the case for everyone, but for me, you get me, How to make "Where are you from" sound exciting? Yes, indeed. I think it might also be just brought up to our brains, and it might be just really just ingested or injected more or less into our brains by movies and series and all the other things and culture, if you will, or if you want to. And that "where are you from" is a good question, but I don't know. Technique, never the naked city. Whenever someone asks you the inevitable, "where are you from?" or "and where are you from?" never ever unfairly challenge their powers of imagination with a one-word answer. Learn some engaging facts about your hometown that conversational partners can comment on. Then, when they say something clever in response to your bait, they think you are a great conversationalist. Your hook should relate to the type of person you're speaking with. No man would listen to you. No man would listen to you talk if he didn't know it was his turn next. Yes, indeed. It might actually also be just a really selfish act, just approaching somebody because it's always selfish. It indeed is always selfish. Like nobody comes up to somebody else just because they want to talk because it's about them, or is it? I mean, we all just want to talk, isn't it? It's like, just not we all, but I think when we are in a proper quote-unquote situation, then we all want to have somebody to talk with. So it might just be the first thought that we're having, like, okay, I want to talk with somebody, and then you approach somebody and be like, oh, where you are from? Yes, English. And or just yeah, I think just because, as he says as well, because we know that us talking is going to be the next thing that's going to happen, probably, and if it is not the thing that's going to happen, then we're probably going to feel like, okay, I just don't like this person, because everything originated out of a very selfish approach, maybe. But this is just some thoughts. I don't know. How to come out a winner every time they ask, and what every time they ask, and what do you do? And then people being like, I'm a model, and I'm a photographer, and I'm influencer, and all this shit. And in the end, it's like, nah, you're not. But you just want to be a motherfucker, I don't know. Like, if somebody asks you this question, then I don't know. I think it is just good to be transparent. Like, I think it obviously, and of course, depends on whom you're talking with. Like, I mean, like, if it is a person that you're somehow interested in, on a sexual basis, then I think you gotta have to be honest. If it is just about some business shit, then I don't know. Like, if just brands in person, even though it sounds stupid, but if they approach you and they be like, do you want to just work with us? What do you do? And then you be like, oh, I'm a homeless motherfucker and I'm doing nothing all day fucking long. Yeah, your business chance is fucked. But I just like honesty. I don't know. I just believe in honesty as well, and I think it is a good thing. So, how to come out a winner? Oh, I'm sorry. The technique is called never the naked job. When asked the inevitable, and what do you do? You may think I'm an economist, an educator, an engineer, or something else. Is giving enough information to engender good conversation. However, to one who is not an economist, educator, or an engineer, you might as well be saying, I'm a paleontologist, psychoanalyst, pornographer. Flesh it out. Throw out some delicious facts about your job for new acquaintances to munch on. Otherwise, they will soon excuse themselves, preferring the snacks back at the cheesy tray. I mean, like, I've never thought about it in that sense, but it really just makes sense, because you're making it easy for the other person to answer. I think there's nothing worse than if you say something and the person doesn't really know what to answer, and it is like, what do I say right now? I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking, when somebody asks me, what do you do? Then I personally would say, okay, I'm a graphic designer, If just, I'm still in school and shit, and therefore, so first of all, because of that, and second of all, just, okay, I'm a YouTuber, I have also written a book, I also do make a little bit of music, I do, I indeed do quite a lot of things, but I just don't want to act like such an imposer motherfucker, you know what I mean? And then, I don't know, I would say, like, because I don't really know if that many people know what a graphic designer is doing, but I would just say, and this is probably something that I've said quite often, like, I do just some logos and some poster designs and all these things. So if companies need something, I'm gonna do that and all that things. And I think it is also quite important, if you're just having a job that might not be that quote unquote common, that you just also explain what the fuck you're doing, because we don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. How to introduce people like the host or hostess with the most est. What the fuck? With the mostest. Most with the most. Most. Well, never mind. Technique: never the naked introduction. When introducing people, don't throw out an unbaited hook and stand there grinning like a big calm. Like a big calm, leaving newly meets to flutter their fins and fish for a topic. Well, bait the conversation hook to get them in the swim of things. Then you're free to stay or float on to the next networking opportunity. Help newlyments. I just have to look it up because I don't know what this is. And I also don't know how to pronounce it, so yeah, we'll see. And nothing found. Okay, so it's apparently just a made-up word. Newly mets. Oh, fuck. Okay. The newly mets. People that just newly met. Or recently met, I would say. So, yeah, this happens. So help the newly mets through their first nervous moments. Mention their hobby or even talent. And just once again, it makes sense to just not just do it so fucking plain, but just give them really a conversation. Like, okay, how are you doing? Well, indeed. I mean, and this is something that I've been talking about to a friend of mine just very, very recently. Shout out to you. You maybe know that I'm approaching you. I don't know. But But, I think that if you ask somebody, I just think about it. If you ask somebody, how do you feel? You're doing good, you're fine, something like that. Like you just wanna just know that the person is good, because most often people are gonna be like, well, yeah, I'm super fine, or they're just gonna be like, oh, I'm bored or something else. But I think they're rarely gonna be like, well, I'm super sad today and I'm also just fucking depressed and whatnot. But if they do that, I most often really appreciate that. I gotta have to say, I then think like, you're really honest, and I appreciate that. And of course, I'm then also gonna ask like, what's going on and stuff like that. But most often, the thing is, if somebody asks you how you're doing, then you're probably gonna be like, well, I'm fine or whatever. How are you doing? So, and this is now your turn once again. So if you then say like, yeah, I'm fine, of course the other person won't just say anything, On the other hand, if you ask another question, being like, yeah, just something. I don't know. But if you then once again ask something, then I don't know. Like, it could really sound like an interview. Like, okay, how you want to do? And if it is one-sided as well, I don't know if it is that good then. Quite. I don't know. Actually, gotta have to look that up, because it's something really interesting. And I would also just try it out with somebody. Kind of. But I'm just more or less thinking about just texting somebody, being like, okay, how are you? Which is, by the way, I think just a really good thing, because you just quite have some time to overthink what you're gonna say, and you're not gonna say a lot of bullshit and stuff. But yeah, I am gonna actually mark that so I know that I have been stopping there, or that we have stopped there. And yeah, the question of today is, yes, apparently nothing at this point, but as a question of today is gonna be, the question of today. Finally, I've actually been waiting, I think, for just 2-3 minutes or some shit. But the question of today is, could you make your life easier and also somebody else's life better by incorporating a few of these things that we've just been talking about? Yeah, just ask yourself. And when yes or no, then just think just ahead from that point. If that makes sense. If this is English, I don't really know. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of the episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, really, 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 I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that. Like, really a lot. If you have been watching this episode up to this point, like, and also just listening, it's not just only about the YouTube thing, but I really tremendously appreciate that. Like, you don't even know how much I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time, I at least hope, and therefore I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy basically means just being a nice person and being remembered as a nice person. With that being said, 3 other questions that I have for you are, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions, I hope they're gonna show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a cool and tremendously amazing thing. So yeah, I'm hopefully gonna see you the next time. Maybe even subscribing to the channel and or to the podcast might be an option. I don't know. I know it's up to you. And yeah, I'm gonna see you the next time. I at least hope. So bye bye.